stayed in. Well, now we're flexible too, because I can get the tight quarters.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yep. I walked with a cane for a bunch of years and I decided it wasn't stable enough, and so I let my imagination wander, and it turned out several companies make these things. And it has been a big help. Hello. Okay, at this time, I'd like to call to order. And I pull this up here. The Wednesday, November 19, 2025, regular meeting of the Royal Oak Downtown Development Authority. First item that we will be doing will be public comment. Just let us know and we'll get you up here.
Call to order?
Yeah, I did call to order.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's multitasking.
Ms. Harris.
Thank you, Mike. Bill Harrison, downtown property owner, resident of Royal Oak. I want to thank you very much for planting the tree in front of 407 South Washington. It's been a long time coming. My concern, I'm pleased to have the tree because it cures what at times has been a tripping hazard. The DDA Executive Director's report, items 6 and 7, lists the number of visits to downtown and to Centennial Commons, I'm getting old, by different demographics. I'm an engineer, I'm a numbers guy, so I'm interested in this. Where does the data come from? Just curious. Is there data available other than downtown dollars that identifies the visitor's destination, such as retail, restaurant service, etc.? Daniel was working on something, but he left before completing it. What type of businesses should we be trying to attract to downtown? The Planning Commission had a discussion on what adult-oriented businesses should be prohibited in downtown. Please review the Planning Department memo attached to the November 11 Planning Commission agenda. The DDA needs to get involved with this discussion. It is questionable, in my mind, as to whether the tattoo parlors previously prohibited should now have been allowed in downtown. The discussion should go beyond adult-oriented businesses and consider prohibiting first-floor office space on Main and Washington. First-floor office space does not promote foot traffic. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Harris. Who else would like to address the DDA today? Mr. Holbert.
Good afternoon. My name is Frank Hobrecht, and I'm going to represent 408 South Washington, the old Kresge building. I was told that we're going to be on the agenda today, actually the public alley, which is behind our building. The other day when we had our first cold snap, we got a little micro ice skating rink. It's something that just has to be addressed. We need to have a good, clean pavement surface so that our customers that enter Lily Seafood Grill and the vendors for our other tenants, that they have clean pavement. So I don't see it on the agenda, but perhaps it'll still show up. It's not on the screen, so, okay. Yeah, please, let's take care of this and let's improve downtown Royal Oak and let's just keep going. Thank you.
Thank you. Who else would like to come forward? Yes, sir.
My name is Philip Smith. At the moment, I live in Southfield, but I did live in Royal Oak in the 60s, and I've been a boaster for Royal Oak since I went to the zoo as a kid when my family lived in Pontiac. So my wife and I have been using the farmer's market, the library, many businesses around Royal Oak and so forth. So when I discovered that the property in the alley at the back of Lily's was not being adequately supported by the folks that might be able to do so, I was asked by the management of the store, the restaurant, and then Mr. Hobart to come and speak. I've been walking on a cane for a number of years. I mean, I've been a booster for Royal Oak for over 80 years since I was a kid living in Pontiac. But lately it's been a little disappointing. I was walking with a cane for about 6 or 8 years, and I got to the point that I needed more, and I got this trolley. But the patch of pavement behind Lily's to get into the restaurant from the structure is shaking parts off this trolley for me. And it works great on smooth surfaces, but not in such messy, scraggly situation as that patch of pavement. So I think there would be a good idea for the businesses that many of the people that use that parking structure value walking through the courtyard to get into the back of the businesses, and the gravel at the back door is a real nuisance. So I think it's I'm kind of startled and surprised that the city like Royal Oak, as progressive as you usually are, has been so reluctant to maintain this little patch of city-owned property. I mean, all around inside that courtyard, there's patches of asphalt that have been put there by people, and the management guy that asked me to come here said that they asked for ability to put in a ramp to make it easier for people to get into their back door, and they were told by the city that nobody could do anything without the city being involved. So I'd like to suggest that if you want to stay up to the standards of people that are relying on Royal Oak as visitors from outside or residents, either one, that's a need, and it can't be big bucks compared to the kind of activities and budgets and so forth that you guys have at command. So I wish you good luck, and I'd like to hear any conversation that happens amongst you folks here, if any decisions are going to be proposed or recommended or rejected or so forth, please.
Thank you very much. Anybody else want to address the board?
Good late afternoon, everybody. My name is Tal Bellamary. I represent 301 4th LLC regarding 6E, the L-shaped alley. Just wanted to voice my support for Frank's suggestion. There are a lot of undulations. There's a lot of unsafe walking conditions, and then more than that, the parking is starting to get a little too much, especially with the deliveries that the restaurant needs to take in, the deliveries that our tenants need to take in. So I just wanted to voice my support. We're here to hear what you guys have to say, and we're on board with, well, theoretically, we're on board with whatever we're willing to do to make that shape up that back alley there.
Thank you. Anybody else? Seeing none, I will close public comment. Back to the table. Next item. Approval of the minutes from October 22nd, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Director Keith. Supported by, I'm sorry. Oh, Director Walker. Any discussion or changes to the minutes? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion passes. Okay, the next item is expense items. This is for informational purposes only. The board has the ability to ask staff any questions regarding any of these items. I'm not seeing any. So we will move on. The next item on the agenda is the scheduling for Public Act 57 informational meeting for December 17, 2025. I think we've all had this before. State requires us to hold these meetings, 2 informational meetings per year, for the purpose of informing the public of the goals and directions of the authority. I would welcome anybody to go to the Royal Oak Downtown Development Authority website, and you'll see a detailed list of items that the authority is involved in. So unless there's any questions, I will, Mr. Kramer, do you have anything that you want to address on this, or?
No comment, Mr. Chairman. I will note for the commission that we need to have our officers selected or to recommend by then, so we can list them in the presentation. And of course, those officer positions would go into effect January.
Okay. Then I will close this portion of the informational meeting. Come back to the regular meeting. Business. First item is Taco Fest 2026. We have a few attached documents here. Mr. Witt, did you want to address the board?
Just wanted to briefly say, don't want to spend too much time. I had the chance to present in front of the marketing committee that we are interested and excited to come back for 2 more years. Had great results, including again some tough weather in terms of attendance, impact on, some positive impact on parking revenue, no incidents, a great amount of publicity for the city, and a lot of good times, quality of life event, celebration of culture and food, and just a really good outcome, really good coverage, and again, we're going, to come back for years 5 and 6, not asking for an increase in any funding, and brought up some potential new ideas or partnerships with a small contingency, for this coming year, and excited to run it back and take any questions if there are any.
Okay, if you'll stick with us right now, and we'll see if we have any questions for you. Anybody? Okay, Mr. Woods, if you don't mind, come back up. Just have a couple quick questions. And I don't know, these may be for Mr. Gaucho, so we'll see. I guess I'm wondering, there's 2 spots in attached documents here, 2 different pages that talks about the amount of the sponsorship and in relation how much of those dollars are spent on city services. And I think on one page it says that amounts approximately $25,000. And then I think on another page it says that it's $45,000, but I think
the difference there is that we wanted to lower it by the amount of, that was invested into paying for parking meters. And that regardless of the amount that we say in there, we made it clear in the agreement that we're responsible for all the services if they were to come out to that amount of money. So we were just clarifying that request. So however it's divided up, we'd rather put more money into programming, and then whatever, if there is more than $25,000 in city services, the contract specifically stipulates that we would cover it. So I just want to.
Okay. And I don't know if you know this, Mr. Gaccio, or not, but in the past, I think, didn't we pay the city directly for the city services?
And we reimburse the city. That sounds familiar to me, but we settled up the bill, and we did not get the last, or we got billed directly from the city, I'm sorry, and we didn't get the last payment from the DDA until after the event was concluded. So pretty sure that's how it operated.
Oh, so the money that's being held is held until the city
Till we're squared
bills
up.
you for the city services?
Correct, yes.
And then we turn that money over to you and you pay the city?
Correct.
Okay.
And I think that's how we did it this year. I would ask Susan if she recalls,
Thank you. I believe this year, yes, we paid John and your company, and then you guys paid the city back. I think in the past, the city we've also, Mr. Twing had sort of level set it. So we kind of took the bill and then we took what we owed and netted it out. And whichever way that went was how that got paid. So I think we've done it a few different ways over time.
I can just say though, at a track record of all the events we've done, we've always taken care of bills promptly and been looking to get scored up.
I wasn't questioning
No,
that
I'm
at
not saying
all.
that you
No.
were. I was just saying
No.
for the record,
I'm just looking for the procedure here and how that goes about. And then, Susan, while you're up here, maybe, I don't know if this is for you or not, but what we're doing today is a sponsorship agreement. One of the documents that's in our packet is a festival agreement. Does the city have a agreement with Mr. Witz other than the special event permit? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes. So I think in this, for Taco Fest in the past, was there?
There's not been a special event, not been a contract
Yes.
with the city. There's been a special event permit, and then the sponsorship agreement does stipulate, how the money is spent and some of the programming and that kind of thing. But the actual, there's a special event permit with the city that has to be approved by the chief and the commission.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
I guess what I was trying to do was trying to figure out, remember in the old days when we did Arts, Beats and Eats and we had a three-party agreement, and then the DDA was taken out of the three-party agreement, and it became an agreement between your company and the city?
Yeah, there's never been an agreement with the city since the beginning of Taco Fest.
On Taco Fest?
Yes, I think
never.
some of the
Okay.
smaller events, now Winter Blast is no longer, but Winter Blast and this one operated through a special event model. And I think Arts, Beats and Eats has always had the more formal agreement.
More formal agreement, okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, I think that's all I had. Does anybody else have anything? Yes, Mr. Walker.
Sorry, I just had a clarified question again. Thank you, Mr. Whitson. Thank you, Chair, for recognizing me for being here today. To kind of go back off of the Chair's comments regarding the $25,000 and again how that's broke out for city services, including police. I understand that, but then as I look down the attachment, specifically under attachment B, I'm also seeing a line item for $15,000 for security. So my clarifying question is: at this event, we have police presence and then an additional security, or how does that factor out?
There's additional private security, and 15 is a minimum of what we spent. We're explaining how the money's used. The security bill for this event is probably more in the $80,000 range, and we have to provide a security plan to the chief. We meet with the police representation and go through how gates are managed, and there's a major investment that's probably 4 times the city investment, and the city has gotten, just on that point, Director Walker, the investment of police officers has gone down every year. They manage the event with 5 officers at a time and no incidents during the event. And we did talk to the chief's office, and they said they would support the event if the city commission voted to approve it, that they would not object to having the event again, because there's been some discussion about police resources, and the chief's office made it clear that they would support the event if the city commission supported the event.
Thank you.
Yes.
Mr. Whitson, the executive director's memo, he makes reference to attempting to promote to Royal Oak residents in response to some declining participation over the last couple of years, and also for future events involving local businesses that may have products or food and services that fit with the event. Have you given any of that thought that yet, and maybe can share some feedback with us?
Sure.
What you might plan there?
Let's start with the businesses first. That we had agreed to pledge the same type of program we do at Arts, Beats and Eats, and offer 30% off to any Royal Oak restaurant that would want to participate, which is what we've done, and we've had 12 local businesses participate in Arts, Beats and Eats. So I think that opens the door. What we found historically, because I have made outreach to businesses, is that during the 4th of July weekend, the labor is hard to find to operate not only in the business but outside. But we have made outreach, and we would make a formal offer to local businesses and reserve some spaces at the event to do that. So that would be one way we would address that. In terms of residential involvement, there have been some ideas that I've had. One of them is to have a Royal Oak taco of the day, so that there would be a discounted taco that would change from truck to truck each day. That would be for Royal Oak residents. Maybe it's a free taco or a $3 taco, and a specific promotion to Royal Oak residents to get them excited about the event, provide some added value, and also maybe support a truck that's not in the prime area that would be willing to share the cost of that taco or that significant discount. But we have given thought, and we've made the pledge to come up with a couple ideas that we could either share with the marketing committee or share with Isaac, but we're committed to making a real attempt at having an offer to Royal Oak residents for this event, knowing the importance to the board on that.
Mr. Chairman, if I could add, and as a point of clarification, that I think structurally this agreement is sound, though there are some minor technical details with it that need additional attention, some of which came up in this conversation, some which has also come up in our review. So for the purpose of the commission, I want to clarify what we're asking for you to do today is to approve the memo, approve in concept the $85,000 for the event, but then leave it in my discretion to work with the promoter to finalize the contract so that it legally meets the standard that we're comfortable supporting as a commission. I hope that clarification is helpful.
Thank you, Mr. Kramer, but just as that would require you to bring it back to the board.
Yes, I'd be happy to circulate it. We could do that electronically, no problem.
But we, just from my point of clarification, we could still move forward without waiting till the next meeting, or do we have to?
As soon as we have an opportunity to meet, review, and get it to a condition where we're satisfied with moving forward, yes. So, and that'll be an immediate follow-up to this meeting.
The issue that we have is just sponsorship decisions are being made before the end of the year for next year, and just trying to get on people's radar and make sure we have the support that we need to deliver the value that we do. I think one of the standards that Isaac shared with me, and I think with some of you, is that, you know, events that come before this board leverage other funding outside of your funding. And I think that's one area that we do well. If the city has provided $85,000, then we're bringing at least double that to the event, but more likely 5 times that to the event. And in order to do that, it's reaching out to companies and businesses and get on their radar before the end of the year, which is why this is important to get done and get the word out. So just wanted to share that.
Okay. Anything else for Mr. Witz? Yes.
Through the chair, I have a question. I see that there's a request in the agreement for funding $85,000 for 2026 and 2027. Was there a biannual agreement in the past, or is this the first year we're looking to approve 2 years in a row?
It's been always that way.
Okay.
And we try and sign them that way with sponsors, so we don't have to go back and have to re-raise funding each year, which again leaves the event vulnerable to change in representation from a company or economic conditions or anything.
I would, again, I'm comfortable with the authorizing the executive director to finalize the agreement, but my comment would be to add language pending approval of a budget by the DDA board and the city commission. So just as it is structurally required to adopt the budget too, it should be in the budget, but that's just a note.
Thank you. If there's nothing else, there is a suggested memo on the second handout. It was Director Keith. A motion by Director Keith. Supported by Director Duboc. Any further questions? Seeing none, call for the vote. I'm sorry.
Do we want to modify the resolution to address what was just discussed with regard to allowing the executive director to edit the agreement as needed?
Yes.
Yeah, I was second.
Mr. Chairman, I'd add to that language and to report back to the board electronically.
I'd move to authorize the DDA executive director to finalize the agreement as presented and to circulate the final agreement to the DDA board.
I'll support that motion.
Okay. Well, I got to go back to first to Mr. Keith and see if he's good
I accept everything that, I agree.
Yeah.
That was a motion to amend, was seconded.
Oh, yours was a motion to
That was a
amend?
motion to
I'm
amend,
sorry.
sorry.
Okay, I thought you were just clarifying, I'm sorry.
Jumping and jiving a little bit.
So we need to take action on the amendment first.
Yes.
Yes.
And
I think I moved to support the motion to make an amendment.
gotcha, okay. So I have a motion by Director Van Ness to support the amendment.
I'll second
Second by Director London.
This will get there anyway.
Okay, I think this will get us there.
Yeah.
I think this will get us
We're
there.
all on board.
Okay, so we're voting on the amendment at this time. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes. Back to the original motion then. If there's no further discussion on the original motion, I'll call for that vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And that motion passes also.
Thank you and congratulations.
The original motion as amended. That's good.
Okay, next item. Pull this up here. Menorah lighting 2025. Who wants to handle this? Mr. Kramer, you want to start with us?
That's what they pay me the big bucks for.
Okay.
So, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the menorah lighting, as many of you are familiar, has become a really enjoyed event for many members of our community. And I had the pleasure of meeting with the rabbi just over a month ago, and he helped me understand how people come from all over, including far outside of Royal Oak. And that it's something that's very much look forward to. Also, he shared with me very impressively that in addition to the funds that we contribute, that they bring over $60,000 of additional funds in. So it's no small feat. I am pleased to report and add to what was in the packet today that the SEP has been approved. And the recommendation is to fund it in full at the $5,000 level. And one last note that I'll share with you, which I think is a little win, but we need to acknowledge all of those accomplishments, is we're working with a local business to have bread, challah bread, around the time of the holidays that is both kosher and blessed by a rabbi. So that's the highest standard possible, and we have one very enthusiastic local business that is happy to have entered into those discussions to be able to provide that as a service to all the residents and the shoppers. So, so with that, the recommendation is to approve.
Thank you, Mr. Kramer. Does anybody have any questions regarding this item?
I'll move.
Motion by Director Dunstan.
I'll second.
Second by Director LaGrasso. Any questions? Discussion? Yes.
Yeah, I just want to throw in that this has been it's a wonderful community event that's become a staple of the holiday season here, hosted by some really active Royal Oakers who do a lot of giving back and volunteerism and community engagement. And I think we should all be really enthusiastic about supporting this event again.
Thank you, Mr. Watt. If there's nothing else, okay, I will call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And that motion passes. Okay, next item is the Chamber Schedule 2026.
Happy to take this on
Yes,
too.
please.
So really pleased to report that over the course of 2 meetings with the marketing team, and I want to take a moment and say a special thank you to all the marketing team members who have been really engaged in this discussion and shaping this proposal. What we're bringing forward to you today is a slight change in strategy, born of a recognition when we reviewed the data and we looked at what kind of return we were getting on our investment, that it pointed us to needing to back off on some of our commitments. In this case, the Royal Oak Live event, where we saw a very high customer acquisition cost for a relatively small number of people attending. But then there was also a recognition from reviewing data from other events that things such as the summer concert series have become really a cherished staple in the Royal Oak community. In fact, it's one of the top attracting events for Royal Oak residents that is put on. So whenever you see something like that, the instinct is, continue and do more. So we're proposing to you to increase the funding for the summer concert series, which will allow for additional programming. It will allow to have the stage up a little bit longer as soon as Juneteenth, so another community group can benefit from that, which is a real positive. And last but not least, with Spooktacular, again, based on the feedback from the marketing committee, for which we're very grateful for, we're looking to shift that from being more of a entertainment-oriented and get into business type event. Picture people with costumes and activities in front of the stores and just a real celebration and decorations all over the place. So we actually want to double our commitment for Spooktacular while backing off of the candy giveaway aspects, which is a trend that many other communities are also embracing across the region and beyond. So with that, the memo lines it out with the recommendations. We would like to recommend to continue forward with the events that were mentioned. Royal Oak and Bloom, a staple, continue with the full funding, slight change in funding for the concert series and Spooktacular, and the elimination of Royal Oak Live. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions on this item? Comments? Director Yasbeck.
Yeah, I'm just trying to recall exactly what our discussion was, or at least my understanding of it. Certainly, I think unanimously we agreed to eliminate the Royal Oak Live for the reasons you stated. The Royal Oak and Bloom, it's just fantastic how many people attend that. So that's a great thing that we're happy to continue. The summer concert series and Spooktacular, I think we conceptually discussed ways to enhance, improve, do the things that you mentioned. But I think we also requested, and correct me if I'm wrong, some more detail, some specificity with regard to the justification to increase these support, these levels of support. So yeah, like I don't know if we're talking about a placeholder here, a budget item, but I think before we approve another whatever that 20,000 to concert series and maybe 30,000 to concert series, you can see how sharp my mind is with math. And 20,000 for another 20,000 for Spooktacular. I think we want some definition as to what's going to go in to those events. That was my understanding. And so I'm not sure, maybe that was the intention for this resolution. I just want a little clarification, I guess.
Yes. So I think by and large that your recollection of the discussion at the Marketing and Business Development Committee meeting is correct. And at that meeting, we did discuss a follow-up discussion with the Chamber about some of the operational details of the two events you mentioned, Spooktacular and the concert series. I'm pleased to report, Director and Mr. Chairman, that there has been a follow-up conversation with the Chamber of Commerce, who is committed to attending our January Marketing and Business Development meeting to provide those details at that time. I'd also add as a point of fact that at the Marketing and Business Development meeting, where this resolution was initially reviewed and unanimously supported, that a distinction was made between setting the budget levels, which is important so that the Chamber can proceed with developing their own budget, and then the commitment to the follow-up and the follow-through on the event details and further discussion at upcoming meetings. And I'd only add as a small footnote to that, that of the two, the concert series is nearer to us, and I can already tell the Director and the chairman and the commission that preliminary discussions have been had with the stage company, for instance, because we want to have a stage there for longer, and discussions about expanding the number of acts and how we fit that into the schedule. And a really nice outcome, while he's not here, Mr. Witz, that the stage could additionally be used during the Taco Fest, which is a nice silver lining that comes with it. So those discussions have been had, they're ongoing, they'll continue. For the purpose of the resolution today, we're asking your support for setting the budget levels. And from my professional judgment and based on the discussions that have been had, these are the budget levels that represent what we think is an appropriate commitment to expanding the good things that are already happening, but also pulling back from those activities that weren't really generating that return that we want to see.
Okay, I got a couple people. Director Duboc.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I'm understanding this right, that this is yielding a net reduction in investment of 50,000,
Correct.
while driving increased investment in the events that we know Royal Oakers are really responding to.
Correct.
All right. I mean, that I appreciate that strategic approach, and that we're also actively using the Pacer data to see that Royal Oakers are very much enjoying this. And I do appreciate that this isn't a commitment; it's a budget level that we would still have to sign a contract to actually send the dollars. Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy to support.
Director Johnson.
I do want to point out, though, that the full amounts, Royal Oak Live and everything else, is already in our budget for 25, 26. So fully the 100,000 for Royal Oak Live, the 100 or whatever it was, 88,000 for the concert series, and the 20,000 for the Spooktacular. Well,
yes, those numbers are,
wouldn't really be in there. We've already taken care of that, but just we already have these levels established in the budget, current budget, I believe. So
we just be moving them around.
right.
And as Mr. Dubuck pointed out, there'd be a net $50,000 savings on this. I will also confirm everything that Mr. Kramer has told us in terms of discussions with the chamber, and I've been part of those discussions on my own with the chamber. And I think the intent here is to, exactly what Mr. Duboc said, is to improve on some of the current ones that we're doing that we know are successful and that we know our residents want to participate in. So these are proven events that have come to fruition here in Royal Oak, and they're very, very popular. So I like that idea. I think we're heading in the right direction here. But we're also saying that these are just budgeted items. We always meet with the chamber before and after each event and look at their expenditures. So I don't see there being a problem here. And lastly, I would note that eliminating $100,000 from the chamber budget might have a negative effect on their overall budgeting on a yearly basis. And at least this way we're helping to support that as we go forward. So I like Director Duboc, I will be supporting this. Mr. Duboc.
I'll move for approval of the resolution as presented.
Motion by Director Duboc.
Support.
I'm sorry, supported by Director Concho. I'm sorry. Any further discussion? Comments? Okay, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the motion passes.
Thank you. We're on a roll tonight.
Okay.
So next up.
Yes, District 360.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. So as many of you are aware, we've had discussions individually, committee level, and now we're taking it on as a board. that we're looking to implement a CRM to help us keep up to date with all of our contacts, all of the interactions with our contacts, to be able to track those interactions and response time, and to be regularly generating reports on a monthly basis, perhaps a more frequent basis as needed, to measure the impact of our program. And where this item gets added significance is as we're preparing to onboard our deputy director starting December 15th, that we really want this tool in place so that this is a performance measure of sorts for that director, but it's also an information source to know who to contact, and something that they can help to develop and grow, you know, as they start in this new position. And one other quick note is we do have gratitude to the city manager for committing to share the costs for District 360 and the Salesforce licenses needed to operate it. So we're doing a 50-50 arrangement. And that's born of the recognition that having access for the Economic Development Department staff, in addition to the DDA staff, is going to have benefits for the city as a whole. So we'll all be using a similar tool. We'll have access to the same information, and we'll be able to see the impact that we're having on businesses in real time. It's really quite an exciting opportunity. So with that, the recommendation is to approve as submitted.
Okay.
I'll move.
Motion by Director Dunstan.
I'll support.
Second by Director London. Director Dunstan.
I think this is a great thing to have. It's going to create a good database, and the city hall is going to be using it, the DDA is going to be using it, and it'll all be all the data will be in one spot. You should have had this a long time ago, really.
Yeah, I'll comment too,
Yes.
Mr. Chair. This is really exciting to me. We continue to see a data-driven approach, so that's something that the director is bringing clearly. And I think there's just a lot of synergies there between the DDA and economic development. When I started, one of the things that I was really focusing on is shaping business recruitment and business retention program. It can be tracked and measured. What gets measured, what gets measured gets managed, and I just continue to see the positive steps towards that. So I happily support this.
Okay. Anybody else? Seeing none, we have a motion on the table. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you again.
Okay, and the next item is the L-shaped alley. Can you start us out, Mr. Kramer?
I'd be more than happy to, and I'll keep this brief. I know there's a lot of interest in the audience about this too tonight, and thank you, by the way, to everyone who showed up and spoke on this issue. So yes, it's a recognized need. We've been working for multiple years to come up with scenarios for how to get the work done. I think where there's some further discussion needed is with the specific owners, and it gets down to who pays for what and how much. Because rarely have we seen the DDA take 100% stake on any project. And where we have been more aggressive with our funding, usually it's been in areas that the public actively uses. I'll put up Centennial Commons as an example. You may have seen from the report and the package that we've logged over 600,000 visits to Centennial Commons since 2021. Anyone who comes to Royal Oak, they're likely to walk through there because it's a public space open for public use. So to say that Centennial Commons and the L-shaped alley are equal probably is not a fair comparison, but it is a space deserving of our attention. So we've done the design work. We have some more outreach to do with the owners, and again, thank you to the owners who showed up tonight. Thank you for the people who have approached me to speak about this issue one-on-one. So what we're asking for the board to do is to direct me over the next 6 months to come to an agreement and bring that forward so that we can get some finality and resolution on this important project.
Thank you, Mr. Kramer. Okay, discussion on this item? Mr. DeBuck.
No, just to add to the report, my understanding is, obviously after a lot of the comment over multiple years, that there is a sort of a seeking of a special accommodation. Anytime we've restored we've converted a dirt road or alley into a finished road or alley in the city, whether it's residential or business, that has been special assessed to the adjacent property owners. And there have been circumstances where we've cost shared that, where there's a public interest. I think what we're approving here is for the director to enter into that negotiation and understand where there's public benefit, how much we should be put in. It's often raised that we did the stamped concrete on the alley behind, the businesses over there on the other side of Main, but we didn't pay for the alley. We paid for the stamped concrete, which was the enhancement to do some placemaking there. So I'd be interested to understand why this specific improvement rises to the level of that special accommodation of not being paid for by the adjacent owners. But I'm certainly willing to have the negotiation. So I'll support. I'll move for the resolution.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Director Buck, second by Mr. Dunstan. Is that right? Yes. Okay. Further discussion.
I'd like to add, I see several items of interest. Never mind, you dumpster layout. Sanitation was one of my questions. I'm curious how the businesses coordinate on sanitation and if there's not an opportunity to improve that situation as well while it's being looked at.
Am I able to comment? I know there's a motion on the table.
Yes.
So, Mr. Chairman, City Manager, that I do think there is an opportunity here for more modern, up-to-date waste management procedures. I would like to put out there, from my perspective, that trash compaction on site could be a good opportunity. We get more bang for the buck per square foot. There's greater cost that goes into that, but also greater benefit that's achieved. And that's one of the things that I'm keenly looking into. Further, I'd add in January, we're going to have a visit from the same sustainability director for the city. And we've already shared the Sustainability Action Plan and how we handle waste, how we handle recycling, how we handle organics, that these are all opportunities for us to consider as we're looking to enter into an agreement for how to handle this alley. So we will take care and make sure that that issue gets the attention that it deserves. And by this project, I think we have the opportunity to set a standard for all future projects of how we handle waste management, recycling, organics in the district.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Yeswick.
I'm sure this goes without saying, but am I correct in assuming that you'll be updating the infrastructure committee as you go through this process?
Nothing happens without you knowing.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay, I will just say further to support what's already been said up here. I mean, these are some, Oakland County did a great job with some design assistance on this. It looks really nice. Love to see it happen. I think we need some more participation from all the owners that are affected by this. We need more feedback from them. And I think what would be very important as the executive director moves forward in these discussions, that the owners all be well aware of the Royal Oak ordinances and what will be required from them as we move forward with this project. But that being said, I look forward to us making progress and moving forward as quickly as we can. Okay, no other discussion. There is a motion on the table. I will call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And that motion passes. Okay, next item, worry-free request for proposals.
All right, Mr. Chairman, we
Yes.
made it to the end. Letter F.
Yeah.
We did have an opportunity to sit down and meet with Worry Free at the Infrastructure Committee meeting a few weeks ago. And I won't speak for the committee, but I think it was a really helpful moment for us to take a look at the work they've done, to speak openly about the things that we might want to see them do. In addition, and some of the things that came out, we're aligning the cleaning schedule with our peak usage, which we know is Friday evening, Saturday night, etc. Another thing that came up is there's never been a budget for plant replenishment. So the recommendation was made to provide $10,000 for the next year to assist with those replenishment activities. And we're also looking into expanding our planting program. So you may recall about 2 months ago, we did that in a small way through a special authorization to plant the mums for the fall season. That's now baked into the agreement. In addition to the memo, one other point of fact that I'll bring before the board is we are now in discussion with the Department of Public Service about jointly putting out the RFP. So that we can also include with the contract the maintenance of some of the rain gardens to make sure that they're properly cared for. I've had one discussion with the director of DPS. I anticipate others will follow in the next month. But I think this is an example of where the DDA can be a good cooperative partner with other city departments, that we can pool resources and that we can find better, more efficient ways to get the job done and get a higher quality of results in the end. So in the packet is a draft RFP for the cleaning maintenance services, so that we can, have an opportunity to get updates on what that pricing is going to be, slightly expanded scope. But to follow will be some additional language about the rain gardens out of the ongoing conversations we're having with DPS. So the recommendation is to move as recommended.
Okay. Discussion. I'm not hearing any?
I'll move.
Okay. Motion by Director Dunstan,
I'll support.
supported by Director LaGrasso. Was there, I guess I have a question. Was it anywhere in here, have we had the discussion or had the discussion with DPS regarding which entity is going to be responsible for the removal and replacement of the trees in the downtown?
That's a discussion that still needs to be
Okay,
had.
perfect. Thank you. Okay. Any other questions, comments? Okay, there's a motion on the table. I will call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And that motion passes. Last item is the DDA Director report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Board, for your collaborative spirit tonight. I think we've accomplished quite a lot together, and it's appreciated. So with that, a few quick items that I'll share from you, also from the packet. And I know we have some people who read ahead, so thank you for that. It's always a nice thing to know that people read what you put out there in writing. So, we've added 50 more tasks and projects since the last report I gave to you on October 22nd. We're up to $7.35 million of funding requests. And a 56% completion rate for all the open tasks. So we added 50, we finished about 100, which means there's about 100 left. But that's just the reality that we're living in. I say it's drinking from a fire hose. That's the stage we're at. And prioritization is happening, more discussion will happen, especially as we go into the active budgeting process. And please expect for having a work session where we can have that more in-depth discussion about finance and budget as we move forward. The deputy director search is complete, candidates selected, press release I got today, headshot is being taken this weekend, so that will all be ready to go. The tech's ready, IT's been incredible with that. We have our District 360 and Salesforce in place, so they're going to hit the ground running and they're going to be a star from day one. So there's several other things we've been working on. I'll just hit the highlights. Attendance Spooktacular gave away 79 bounce back gift cards. That was a nice first try. We'll do more, hopefully. Providing support for Osal B at 304 South Main Street to clean up their storefront, get market data, a number of other things we're trying to do to help support this new business. We met with partners producing events. You heard today about Taco Fest. Also, St. Patrick's Day Parade, Pride, menorah lighting, and with the Royal Oak Restaurant Association, which, by the way, I'll add, we just got another 10,000 of the social district stickers to them. So we won't run out, hopefully, for some time. Number 4, convened a gathering to discuss compassionate responses to the unhoused population. If any of you have a chance to go in to give thanks, I encourage you to do so. And when you do, you'll see that they have a pay it forward board now. And by my last count, over 25 customers who came in left behind a pay it forward between $5 and $20. So anyone who walks in can take one of those and get an item. So, and I'm really proud, both to give thanks, but also the community for stepping up and showing that care for people who might not have the resources. Next up, we finalized the Royal Oak Small Business Saturday bags. I have a bunch here, and I'm going to send you all off with a big handful of them because I need help distributing them. But distribution's going well. We have over 30 offers. Thank you to Kyle Vandeventer in the audience who helped to line many of those up. Did a great job. So we're looking forward to Small Business Saturday on the 29th. I've done a competitive analysis of Royal Oak against other downtown areas in response to the earlier question from the audience, that it's primarily cell phone data that is utilized to track, and it's overlaid with census data and other sources, which allows us to understand, where people came from, where they go, once they visit a location, where they go next, etc. Starting this month, additionally, we have retail sales data for several businesses, and that goes back to 2018, and that just gives us more ammunition as we're trying to understand the market trends and how we can adapt and maybe even influence them over time, and that fits into that business attraction piece, as the audience member mentioned. Centennial Commons visitation, impressive stat. I hope Director LaGrasso appreciates this. 642,900 visits since dedicating it on December 4th, 2021. So very competitive with the region. Farmington has a slight edge on us, but we can close that gap. Also attending the ribbon cutting for Ludwig Plus, a beautiful facility at 333 West 7th Street, woman-owned marketing firm. Anticipating the ribbon cutting for the Great Dane at 112 South Main Street. We joined the Shop Oakland County platform and website to provide free e-commerce services to businesses in the district. Still looking for the first business to take advantage of that and sign up. But when they do, they and all the shoppers are going to be able to compete for $10,000 in prizes if you sell products from that platform or if you buy them. So you have a chance to win prizes on both sides. And last but not least, we're working to streamline the outdoor dining approvals for the spring, so it can all be done electronically. The goal is one click to have that complete, and we're making some good progress on that. Last but not least, as I always like to wrap up, in the past month we had 86.25 volunteer hours from our 18 volunteers. This is through the end of October. valued at $34.79 an hour. The state rate, that's over $3,000 of in-kind contributions that the volunteers have made, many of whom are here today. And over the last several months since I've been reporting, that means each one of our volunteers on average has contributed $291 worth of your time. And on behalf of the DDA, our businesses, and the community, I'd like to thank you for that.
Thank you, Mr. Crum. Does anybody have anything to bring before the board today? Seeing none? Oh, Mr. Hodge.
It is going to be the board's interest, but just to let everyone know, we are hiring our first director of parking who will oversee operations, business relationships with the DDA as well as their small businesses.
Nice.
Really looking at the employee permitting program and just making sure we're out there on the streets. Also, they'll be managing the big picture, the budget, the capital planning, all that stuff. So that is in recruitment. It closed actually now. So we're looking to get interviews early December, and I really want this director to on board with the transition of the new system in January, because there's a lot of complexity and moving parts to that. So I want a dedicated person out there helping that. So it's good recruitment so far.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. Susan, how about you? Anything? Mr. Kramer, are you good? Okay. Seeing nothing else, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Director Keith to adjourn.
Second.
Second by Director LaGrasso. Comments? None? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And we are adjourned.